This ounce of silver back in 2006 would buy over 4 gallons of gasoline. Today it'll buy almost 11 gallons of gasoline. That's preservation of value, and that's what the market has always said should be money. Money comes into effect in a natural way, not by fiat, by governments declaring it is money.
The role of fiat currency is how they manage to even pull this off, I don't know, okay? But you have the creation of private central banks who somehow duped governments into exchanging tangible assets, whether they're physical or non-physical, right? Well, how can you have a non-physical tangible? Well, our future tax earnings, because it's written into law, right? So I'll say that's very bankable. And that's what we create our government bonds on. And that is a government's, say, stamp of stability. Now, a government will go to a central bank and say, I require capital. I need a loan. Central bank says, okay, no problem at all. Creates currency, which now is just hitting a digit on a screen and press and enter. And then you have an exchange of government bonds, so the future tax earnings of our children, and the way that it's happening at the moment, our children's children, and the children that follow thereafter. And that is handed over to the central bank and new money is created. The thing is that new money must get its value from somewhere. And where it derives its new value from is the pre-existing money supply. And now you have a dilution effect. So the purchasing power that is in my pocket every single day in the UK, the GBP is getting weaker.
It's my opinion that you do not really understand the concept of banking. All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. And why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. It isn't some sort of tsunami. They're broke because we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means that banks can lend money that they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal and it's been going on for too long.
So then we have the issue with the fractional reserve system, right, where every pound, dollar, yen that is deposited then has an instant to the power of 9 or 10 ratio of creating additional capital for the bank to loan out, because it only needs to maintain £1 in reserve in order to legally loan out 10, right? What we saw in the financial crisis of 2008, 2009 was they were taking that ratio and they're going to 50, they're going to 100. The reason being is fractional reserve banking. And this is why we have terms like a run on the bank. Well, if a bank's a custodian of other people's capital, we should have free access to our capital. So why should there ever be a run on the bank? The only reason why terms like run on the bank are even minted and created and circulated around is the fear that goes into the fact that these banks are fundamentally, systemically insolvent. Because this whole system really is a game of musical chairs. And bankruptcy is designed within the system. So when the music stops, by design, someone must not have a seat.
Inflation in Britain has hit its highest level in 3.5 years.
Now, Argentina's inflation rate has hit its highest level in almost 3 decades.
Venezuela, of course, a country where prices double every few weeks.
Inflation in Britain slipped slightly in October.
This is the beautiful simplicity of the system, but this also really reveals just how corrupt and distorted the system is. And then this is why we create really sophisticated terms like QE, quantitative easing, right? And we create all these different things that are just basically really complicated, smart sounding ways to saying, I'm absolutely robbing you blind of your time, of your skill, of your passion, really. We've got over 4,000 different variants of this system being created by governments over a long time horizon, and they have 100% failure ratio. So if you look at it, you think, okay, well, it's not money, and if the political instability becomes really unstable and the money gets taken out of circulation, then everything that I banked my future retirement to be is no longer possible, because the notes in which I was going to use to buy my yacht, to travel the world or to go to another country or whatever it is that you wanted to do with your life, the fact that you saved in promissory notes means that it can be taken away like that. And what is that? 50 years of earnings? 50 years of your time, dedication? 50 years of not doing the things that you wanted to pursue in your life, your passions, not being able to take your kids where you wanted to take them, not be able to experience the things it is that you wanted to experience. And in a flash, it's gone. All of that hard work and time is gone. So when I look at the system and I hear conversations around slavery, right? And then I look at the system, I think, okay, slavery is forcing labor without financial remuneration. Well, in this scenario that has presented itself 100% of the time, where the system collapses, well, you've already taken the labor and you actually haven't delivered a payment. You have allowed the individual to keep hold of the payment. That is full-blown economic slavery. It's by design. So, and if you're the puppet master and you are the one who has dominion over the rate of time all across the planet, everyone is ultimately your debt slave. And this is the big issue in the system.